guys, I'm Rana, welcome back to my channel. My dog is here, so if you hear, I guess, moving around or whining, she just wants my attention, but she's right next to me. So today's video is going to be a humongous book haul that I have. I have a whole bunch of books, basically from back till December, that I haven't really showed you guys. I don't even think this is all of them. I kind of forgot which are my new books that I got. So some of them were gifted to me by family or friends. The other ones I bought myself. I am going to a Polycon in July in DC, so a lot of these books kind of relate to that. I did also recently join a book club, so a couple of these purchases are basically for that. But yeah, so kind of getting right into the books. I'm gonna give a quick, I guess, overview of each book because I don't want this video to be super long. But first, my best friend gifted me a Lady of Rooksgrove Manor by Catherine Moon. This is book 1. I don't know how long this series is going to be, but book 2, I believe, comes out in November. Super good if you're into RH and monsters. I really, really enjoyed this one, but definitely a darker read, so be prepared with that. Then we have The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry. My boyfriend ended up gifting this to me. This one is book 1 in her 4-book series. Very emotional adult romance, deals with grief. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check this one out. My mom ended up buying Verity by Colleen Hoover. She's kind of been in a Colleen Hoover kick. I personally have only read It Ends With Us, Ugly Love, Confess, and then her Slam series. I think that's all I've read by her. And then obviously this one. This one's super good. It's adult. It's more of a darker, I guess, like mystery thriller type book, but it does have a romance in it. The romance isn't really the main part of this, in my opinion, but I do really enjoy this book. Next, 2 books that I got for Christmas. One of them was Steel King by Debney Perry. This is book 1 in her Clifton Ford series. These are the newer covers. Her older covers have jesters on them, but this is a adult kind of romance motorcycle type book. It's not really that dark compared to my other books I read, but it was good. It just wasn't really my favorite book in the world. Next, we have Men of the North #1, The Protector by Elaine Peer. This is a futuristic type book. It was really, really good. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something different. It's basically 2 different societies, men versus women, and kind of how they hold themselves and if they get along and stuff like that, but very good. The next 2 books I also got from my boyfriend. So the first one is The Heir by Sophie Lark. I think this is my favorite Sophie Lark book. So good. It gives you Harry Potter vibes with Mafia World and kind of alliances. It's just really good. This is book 1 of 5 technically in this series. Books 1 through 4 go together, and book 5 is more of a standalone, but it's with like the characters these age. Super good, but definitely super steamy if this is something you're interested in, and it's a thick boy. And then he also got me Totally Folked by Penny Reed. This is book 1 in her newer series. It's a small town romance adult book. Super, super cute. I really, really enjoyed this one. And this one focuses on the sheriff in the town. Or I think the son sheriff. I don't remember. Next, I picked up Isn't It Romantic by Lisa K. Adams. This is the 4th book in the Romance Book Club series. It was good. It wasn't as good as the other books. This one is more of a, I guess, high stakes mystery type vibe, as well as a romance, but this is a adult book. Again, good, but nothing crazy. Then I picked up all 3 books in Emily McIntyre's Never After series. These are really good, and I think, honestly, these are kind of some of my favorite. They're not retellings, but they use parts of fairy tales, or I guess villains stories in the books, and they're so well written and they're very creative. So the first one she wrote was Hooked. This one is obviously Hook from Peter Pan. This also, I believe, is the mafia. It's either drug dealing or mafia, I'm not sure. This was really good. My favorite was Scarred. This is Scar from The Lion King. I loved this one, and I think it's because it had the royal like element to it, and she's basically trying to kill one of the royal sons. It's so good. I really I love this one. I loved the romance. I loved the plot. This one was just freaking amazing. And then her newest release is Wretched, which is the Wizard of Oz. I enjoyed this one. This one's also more of, I guess, mafia drug dealing type book. It's pretty good. Again, Scarred is definitely my favorite, but if you're looking for something creative that uses your favorite kind of villain, not retellings, I guess appeals or something, definitely pick these up. Next I picked up Megan Quinn's The Highland Fling. This one's so good. I picked this one up because of a Polycon that I'm attending. Super cute rom-com. If you're looking for a kind of Scottish flair to your summer, definitely pick this one up. I believe my boyfriend also got me this one, and this is Ruby Dixon's Fire in His Blood. This is book number 1 of the Fire Blood Dragon books. I love these books so much. This is so good. I think her whole series is out now. This is the only one I have in paperback. I don't think I finished the last one, or maybe I finished the last one. I don't remember, but super good. I love these very spicy dragon books. It does have a plot, more post-apocalyptic type books, but if this is something you're interested in, definitely go for it. Next, I have the 2 original indie copies of Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarians. My pet peeve is that she's taking these covers off and she's replacing them with the new ones, and I hate the new ones. Like, I really hate the new ones. I like the new ones' height better. Like, indie height sometimes bothers me, but these covers are so much better. These are like true alien romance covers, but I don't really have the time to sit and collect all the books, so I kind of just have the first 2. This is her first one. This is Georgie's book, and I think this is Liz's book. I'm not sure, but super good. If you're looking for kind of easy to read, super short alien romances to try, definitely try these. You may think alien romances are weird, but I don't know why. They're just actually pretty good books, and I really enjoyed these. I think I've read pretty much her whole entire series for Ice Planet Barbarians, which is this one. I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then I pretty much finished Ice Home except for her 2 new releases. But yeah, this one, super good. Love these. And then the next 3 books are from my book club. The other one is downstairs because my mom's reading it. I lied. The next 2 books are from my book club, and the other one downstairs is because my mom's currently reading it. So the first one is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I tabbed it up. I really did enjoy this one. Again, Christina Lauren wasn't someone I really got into just because her Beautiful Bastard series is an office romance, and that I don't like office romances. But this is a adult romance. It's a friends to lovers book with, of course, tragedy in it and something that broke them apart. But actually pretty good. Definitely recommend. They also have a new cover. This is the original cover. Then I picked up Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This is her newest release. Definitely not my favorite out of the books she's written, but still a pretty good kind of light summery romance. Next, I picked up Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren because I couldn't not pick it up because it has DNA in it. I loved the premise of this book. I absolutely loved that it was a DNA matchmaking service. This was really good. I ended up reading this on the plane when I went to Texas. Super quick read. I really enjoyed this. I think I only gave it like 4 stars. I don't remember why. But this is definitely one of my favorite Christina Lauren books. Next, I picked up Crescent City number 2, House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. I'm really sad Waterstones didn't do their sprayed edges for this book, but this book is absolutely ginormous. Super good. I really wasn't expecting a lot of what happened in this book. This is a adult, I guess, high fantasy type read. Definitely a lot more steamier in this book. There was a lot of things that happened. I really, really enjoyed this one. You definitely have to read the first book before you get into this one, so I'm not going to say too much more, but I definitely can't wait for number 3. And I think book number 3 is releasing before her book 6, I think, in the Akhtar series. And then I picked up The War of Two Queens by Jennifer Armentrout. I didn't realize how heavy this was. Wow. This is book number 4 in her, I don't even know what she's calling it. I'm calling it Blood of Ash series. Super good. I really enjoyed what happened in this book. I loved kind of getting to know the characters. I actually really enjoyed this book, and I know everyone was saying stuff was forced and I didn't like this and I hated the plot direction she took. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. I think nothing was out of place. I think everything kind of went where it was supposed to go. I don't disagree with her writing choices, and I really enjoyed this one. So I'm very excited for her next couple of books. I'm very also excited to meet her in July. I've already met her once. She's one of the nicest human beings ever. But this one's definitely a really good book. And I think Poppy is one of my favorite kind of romance heroines out there. But that is an adult, steamy fantasy romance. Next, I got 2 books that, again, I got because of a Polycon, and those are the last 2 books in the Bargainer series. So we have A Strange Hymn and Dark Harmony. These are more darker, I guess, like fairy kind of fantasy romance vibes. I know I enjoyed them. They were good. They weren't like my favorite books ever out there. But I do really like Laura Thalas's writing. I think it's very quick and easy to read and get into. So I definitely recommend these books. But I already had book 1, so I picked up books 2 and 3. Then I picked up book 1 and 2 in the Four Horsemen series. So that is Pestilence and War. I didn't pick up the other 2 because technically I can only get 3 books signed per author unless I want to go back to the end of the line. So if I really, really love, I remember reading Pestilence like 2 or 3 years ago, but I remember nothing about it, so I'm rereading it. Haven't read War, but if I really love these, which I think I will, I'm gonna get the next 2, which I think is Famine and Death. But I'm super excited to start these. I'm bringing these on vacation with me, so that's why I haven't read them yet, but definitely really interesting. These are adults, kind of post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic type romances about the Four Horsemen. Then we have one that I've literally had forever on my to-read list, and that is Kiss and Don't Tell by Megan Quinn. It's another hockey romance. I love my sports romances. I'm just super excited for this one. I don't really know too much about it, but it's about professional hockey players, so I'm very excited to read this. Book 2, I think, has an accidental pregnancy trope, and those are like my least favorite books. So I don't know if I'm going to read book 2, but I'm definitely excited for this one. Then I picked up the Montana Mavericks collection, which is only the first 3 books. I'm missing book 4 in here, but this is by Rebecca Zanetti, which will also be at the convention. These were really, really good. I really enjoyed them. I was kind of in the mood. Whenever it hits summertime, I'm in the mood for like cowboy romances. Also, shameless plug, please watch Yellowstone if you haven't. It's such a good series. But these were definitely really good. Super fast-paced. Very good plot in them. Definitely recommend these. Next, I'm going to be on the bandwagon. So, I was a huge young adult reader when I was in like middle school and into high school. And I just never read these books because her other book series, I read the first book and it just wasn't my favorite. So I kind of never read these because I was like, you know what? I don't like her other one. I don't think I'm going to like these, blah, blah, blah. But then my mom and I binged the season 1 literally in like 3 days. So good. I absolutely loved it. It was like cheesy to the point where like it was just so good because you loved it. So I decided I'd pick it up. And that is the Summer I Turned Pretty box set. So it's all 3 books. I am currently reading book 1 right now. That's why you don't see it. But these are kind of young adult beachy romances. They take place in a beach house over the summer. So yeah, I need to read them because I need season 2. Like, they just left season 1 and I'm like, that's it? That's how you're leaving season 1. So now I'm gonna read the books because I feel like it's necessary in my life to read these books. But this was literally the last box set at my Barnes & Noble. So my mom grabbed it for me. I was actually meeting Tessa Bailey during that time, so my mom was like, yeah, I have these for you if you want them. And they literally only had books 2 and 3 in stock, and everyone was like dying over this. But yeah, so I got the box set. Super excited to read these. These are probably going to be my current reads for the next couple weeks. But yeah, book 1's on my bed right now. So speaking of Tessa Bailey, I am going to be meeting her at Polycon, but she came to my local Barnes & Noble because she lives where I live. And I was super excited to read her. I've literally only read one Tessa Bailey book. She's been on my TBR for a while. I just haven't really been in the mood for any rom-coms or anything. And then her Tools of Engagement series, I wasn't a huge fan of that. I'm not like that. Those types of books don't interest me. But I heard one of her books was becoming a movie, and everyone's been raving about them, so I felt like I needed to read them. But the one I did read was My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, and it's signed. If you're looking for cheesy, if you're looking for something not too serious, summery, light read, and it is very small, definitely pick this one up. I did enjoy this book, but again, it was very cheesy. The romance was good. I enjoyed the romance. Very steamy. I wasn't expecting it to be that steamy, but very steamy. The plot wasn't as engaging as I wanted it to be, so I think this was more romance heavy for me, but I really did enjoy this, and I really loved meeting her. So that's Tessa Bailey. And then I got her other 2 books signed. I could have gotten more, but a lot of the books I want to read by her are her older series, and I didn't have those in stock, so I'd have to pick them up eventually. But I got the, what are they? The Bellinger sisters, something like that. But this is book 1. It happened one summer. This is the one becoming a movie. Signed it. And then everyone I feel like likes this one a little bit better because this one's more, I guess, what's the word? I don't know. This one gives more Golden Retriever vibes, but I'm super excited to read these. These are about sisters and kind of their romances. I'm also going to bring these on vacation with me and kind of read these, but super excited for these. Next, I've been on a Rebecca Yarros military kick because of Top Gun, because I'm obsessed with Top Gun. I love the original movie, love the new movie. My summer soundtrack is literally the Top Gun album. So good. So I picked up Full Measures by Rebecca Yarros. She changed the covers. I like the original ones better. But this is like a super long series. I think it's like 7 or 8 books. I picked up the first one to try it because, again, she'll also be at a Polycon. If she has more at her table and I really like this one, I'll pick the other ones up. But this one is more of a new adult book where her other ones have older characters, so they're adult book. I don't really know too much. I just know I think he plays hockey. She's an army brat. That's all I know. And then I see, obviously, helicopters in the corner. But I love Rebecca Yarros. Her military romances have a way of literally ripping your soul out, and I kind of feel the need to do that to myself. So yeah, also bringing this one on vacation. I kind of want to read all these books before I meet them. Next, this will be a reread. I haven't read this one in a while, and that's Hush Hush by Lucia Franco. I remember getting this as an ARC and absolutely devouring it and loving it. I read this like 5 summers ago when this first came out. But again, she's also going to be at a Polycon, and I am really excited to kind of jump into this one. All I know is she's an escort. That's all I remember out of this one. I don't know if there's age gap, but she normally writes age gap books. But yeah, love this cover. I'm super happy I got this one because I think she's changing the cover. And the back is really pretty also. Next, I got a Megan Quinn duet. This is, I believe, about fighter pilots. So the first one is Left Side of Perfect. Second one is Right Side of Forever. They're super small books. I know they're supposed to be emotional romances. I think they're also supposed to be like romantic comedy. I'm not really sure what happens in this, but all I know is it talks about marriage. Sammy! But I'm super excited to get into these. Next, Wendy Higgins was supposed to go, but she canceled, so I'm really upset about that. She's literally one of the authors that got me back into reading, or I guess like change over from like your Rainbow Fairy Magic, Geronimo Stilton into the young adult section. So I was super excited to meet her, but it's okay. I still have 2 of her books. I still love her very much. So the first one I have is Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. This is part of a trilogy. One of my favorite young adult books of all time. Love this. It kind of borders on new adult with a lot of the themes in here and what happens. But if this is something you're interested in, please pick it up and read it. It deals with the 7 deadly sins. And then next we have her adult kind of Greek gods retelling, and this is Souls in Darkness. Super steamy. Loved this one. I'm probably going to do a reread of it soon, even though she's not going, but definitely recommend this one. Next, we have one of my favorites, and that is Cambria Hebert. This is her #nerd series. I'm so excited to finally meet her. She is one of the first ones to get me into sports romance. This is her college sports romance series. So good. I don't think anyone really knows about this as much, but definitely one of my favorites. Please pick this up if you get a chance. I think it's a 4 or 5 book series. I definitely recommend this, and it's football. Next, we have my all-time favorite sports romance, and that's The Rivalry by Nikki Sloan. This is an Ohio State and Michigan, University of Michigan kind of rivalry. Super good. Love this one. If you're looking for sports romance, I think I had this in my sports romance Rex video. Super good. Fast-paced, steamy, college. Love this one. And then I had to pick up 2 more Sophie Lark books. So I picked up The Brutal Prince, which is the first book in her, I guess the family or the parents books. This one I think was my favorite. I liked this one and Stolen Heir, which is the second one. This is a, I guess, arranged marriage type book. Super good. I am pre-ordering The Bully from her because I want the original covers. I don't like the discreet covers, or I'm just not a discreet cover person. Like, if you read romance, you read romance. Like, no need to be discreet about it. But I picked this one up because I'm gonna have her sign this one. And then I picked up her newest release, The Savage, which wasn't my favorite. And I hate to say that about Sophie Lark because I love her, but this one just didn't really do it for me. But I think that's all my books. It's a lot of them. I'm probably missing a few, but if you ever am interested in what I'm reading, my Goodreads is always up to date. I'll leave it in the links down below. But if you're going to a Polycon, super excited to meet you. Definitely come up and say hi. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day.